Well, as usual, open up your notes. It's been sent through email to the members of the congregation, including my friends as well. But please, if you have friends coming along tonight, please also send them the notes. It's very important that we follow through the notes so we don't get deceived. All right, so you can cross-check everything that I preached tonight. And as some of you already know that we are going through a series on Wednesdays. We're going through the Evangelism series because a Christian that does not share their faith is dead. And today we're going to talk about campus evangelism. And same questions, but different formula. Let's ask our heart and skill in terms of campus evangelism. Do you know how to evangelize on campus? And why we want to do it? Second, then do you know how to evangelize on campus, but you have lost your why? You don't even know why I should do it anymore. Or you know why you should do it, but you just don't have the skill to do it. And hopefully, at last, you're not in the fourth box that you don't know how to do it and you choose not to do it at all. So this was even a new skill to me, campus evangelism. Because when I became a Christian, I became a Christian after being converted as a professional worker. So at that point, I was already graduated. I was working in the society, being contaminated already. Well, despite me, during my uni days, I've been evangelized to a lot. There are like events, Christian unions and stuff like that, and people evangelize to me as well. But I found out what many Christian groups on campus are just not preaching the truth. That's why I was not converted. And they evangelize in the manner of wishful thinking. That's why they blame it on God. They say that if God wants somebody to come to Him, they will do it. But that's a lie. Jesus did not do that. It was until I got into the kingdom of God, it revolutionized my view on campus evangelism. Let's look at some scriptures first. Okay, campus, university, that was even a thing back then in Jesus' day. But let's draw some inspiration from the scriptures. John 8:2. At dawn, he appeared again in the temple courts where all the people gathered around him, and he sat down to teach them. John 10:22-24. Then came the festival of dedication at Jerusalem. It was winter. And Jesus was in the temple courts walking in Solomon's colonnade. The Jews who were there gathered around him, saying, "How long will you keep us in suspense? If you are the Messiah, tell us plainly." John 7:14, not until halfway through the festival did Jesus go up to the temple courts and begin to teach. John 7:25-26, at that point, some of the people of Jerusalem began to ask, "Isn't this the man they are trying to kill? Here he is, speaking publicly, and they are not saying a word to him. Have the authorities really concluded that he is the Messiah?" Luke 4:14-15, Jesus returned to Galilee in the power of the Spirit, and news about him spread through the whole countryside. He was teaching in the synagogues, and everyone praised him. John 4:22, all spoke well of him and were amazed at the gracious words that came from his lips. "Isn't this Joseph's son?" they asked. Luke 19:47, every day he was teaching at the temple. The temple courts mentioned in the Bible and the synagogues are places of debate and a place of exchange ideas. That's what the Jews are very good at debate. The foundation of Western education is founded upon the Greek notion of discourse. They are mirrors to the universities today. The notion of university, let's do some historical facts. The notion of university is the academic sense formed in Bologna in Italy. In the 11th century, that's where the first university was being built in the world, where students from various regions called naciones banded together to form a larger association called the universitas, Latin word for whole. It is a place for constant exchange of all ideas and a safe place and free space for debates. There's nothing weird about sharing your faith on campus. And it should be the primary place where we share our faith. But sadly, but also convicting that this is now a belief in our faith only. It's no longer a supported thing. As many corrosive ideas are encouraged, and the truth is uniquely banned by modern day institutions. So today, let's look at why we should share on campus. Because campus ministry is all about saving lost youth from the day to secure spiritual tomorrow. Universities are where young people go to learn. Despite having Christian associations and clubs on campus today, they have bent down to human authorities and cancel culture, and have become lukewarm as their survival became more important than putting God first. Now you should see how important it is for us to be on there. What every young people needs to learn more about than anything is the good news of Jesus Christ.
That's true.
Above how they build their own life or career, otherwise their life will just crash. Eventually, no matter what their course or the future, no matter how many A+ they get. And when I had the privilege to being an assistant in the Yale University, I get to talk to many of the Ivy League students, including Harvard. And in the Harvard Law School, 75% of the law students have broken law. And there you go, there's your Ivy League students. And they have given their career away just like that. Matthew 7:24-27. Therefore, everyone who hears these words of mine and puts them into practice is like a wise man who built his house on a rock. The rain came down, the stream rose, and the winds blew and beat against the house. Yet it did not fall, because it has its foundation on the rock. But everyone who hears these words of mine and does not put them into practice is like a foolish man who built his house on sand. The rain came down, the streams rose, and the winds blew and beat against that house, and it fell with great crash. So most people start university quite in an innocent state of their life. Right? Even in university, you are actually half protected still. Yet during these years, of these years at university, many are introduced to many corrosive stuff like alcohol, drugs, sex, and all sorts of destructive sins. And for the very first time. For example, in my uni days, although sadly compared to my cohort, I was the good one. Not to be proud to say, I was pretty bad already. Okay, let's talk about myself first. Yeah, I was like in touch with pornography in terms of like sex, overuse of like cigarettes as well, and drinking. And I also witnessed many dangerous ideas being exchanged at uni. You know, going to course is just 2 hours of lecture of knowledge. The other things is just about corrupting each other. Let's say encouragement to cheat. Right? I even heard my friends telling another friend saying that it's okay to just go sleep with that guy. It's to do whatever you feel happy. You know, and suicides as well. We even have people jumping off in the business school building during my uni years. Drinking culture. Every single Wednesday night, Friday night, Saturday night, we get drunk. And we even have like, you know, we do just crazy things we think was so cool. Go into the student accommodation bathroom, take down the whole door and carry away into our own bedrooms. And we even have like my friend just fell asleep inside the toilet with his head in there. And then we'll just keep doing this kind of thing every single week. And drugs, Friday night clubs, we don't even know why we were there, but it's a tradition. Even institutional endorsement for sexual contact. You know what will be given in the, what do you call it? The orientation package? Condoms. I know out of their good heart is to encourage safe sex, to stop STD. It's like that. But since when we have become, education has become a place that, helping, just encouraging people to go sleep around. And morality became a victim in the cancel culture nowadays. And sadly for some, universities are the worst time of their lives. And it's become worse and worse nowadays. Loneliness, insecurity, being away from home for the first time. And they were not raised in a way to face these things alone. Having to run their own life for the very first time. It's scary. Especially for the ones who has also been on student loan and have to pay it off on their own. Getting bullied, abused, robbed, raped. Many of my female friends at uni, they have been raped, but they don't even know that was raping. Leading to suicide for some. Do not be deceived. According to today's statistics, 300 people between 18 and 24 in Australia committed suicide in 2025. That constitutes 30% of all youth deaths. Youth should have nothing to do with deaths. Attempt for substances since youth resulted in the next the statistics that's coming up. According to Australia's annual overdose report of 2025, there were 2,272 drug-induced overdose deaths in Australia in 2023. So now you can see the figures. These things all started from youth. Campus ministry is the most important ministry that we must oversee. For those in the ministry, like me and Sarah, but also points to the rest of you as disciples or even the ones who want to become leaders. Campus evangelism has given a great purpose for why we're doing it by God. And there's a rough imitation. There's a rough imitation of from Paul, the Apostle Paul, spending years at the halls of Tyrannus. So in Acts 19, 9-10, so Paul left him. He took the disciples with him and had discussion daily in the lecture hall of Tyrannus. This went on for 2 years, so that all the Jews and Greeks who live in the province of Asia heard the word of the Lord. So Paul has already done a similar thing back then. And he already knew no, youth ministry, that's what I'm talking about. That's why his greatest disciple is Timothy, who is known for being a young minister. Campus ministry produces the most fruits due to the time that students have available. The students have the freest time in their life. And yet, what kind of deceit they have been brought into? I don't have time. You ask Sean and Tegan. They will tell you what is really called busy. Having full-time job, running a Bible talk, taking care of 2 kids. If we don't help students overcome what they're facing right now, they are just going to fall into those things I just mentioned earlier on. Every ministry person should live right next to a university and be personally leading that university ministry. So it's great that we all live right next to campus, actually, not just us or the ministry people. Like we were united on this in Clayton. Like all married and most single households are right next to campus. But again, it's quite pointless that we live so close, but you do not fight to be on campus. Do not make every single second free to be on campus. That's why some of us have lost our wives. And I want to speak to the students specifically here then. So those are living in halls, but I don't think we have anyone living in halls, but maybe in the future, or nearby accommodation, and those are coming in, for those one who travel onto campus 1 to 2 days a week. And he actually gave what do you call it? Those are the areas, like for example yourself, your own experience can actually relate to different types of students. And these are the students you can target on, start marking down when they will be on campus. And then you're just going to hold Bible discussion at those hours. If you're really busy, let's say you have labs and stuff like that on campus, you could totally just grab the people in your lab and say, let's do Bible discussion now. We finish lab, let's do Bible discussion. There you go. You can easily do that. And also, university is a place where we can find young people who are easily to be molded, and we're gonna have the best time to train them up. Because to graduate, you take between 3 to 5 years, and that's a pretty decent time to train these young people to be ready to become full-time ministers. And they're gonna have a way more solid foundation. And for example, like me, who have been converted from the world, it takes a lot for me to get rid of the junks. And you students have the best opportunities to be all in right now. And you'll be greater than me. And foreign students, don't give up on those students who came from overseas, just to exchange. Many mission fields were being sent out or being created because of foreign exchange students. For example, in Samoa mission team, it was built by Scotty and Barrack. They came to Australia, they graduated here in Sydney, but because of the scholarship program, they have to return. But eventually they built a church in up here. So point one, how will you evangelize this way? Campus ministry is a 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. ministry. And I think the university agrees to that. Why? Because they close everything off at 9. And I could always meet the loners who stay till 9 p.m. When I was in campus, sitting on campus center at 9 p.m. when they're kicking us out, I can always catch one or two. And that was actually the best time to have a most impressive conversation with them. You can walk them home, walk them to the bus station. You have all the time in your life to talk to them. So don't dip in and out on campus. Again, great. Now, especially the men, you guys are coming more and more, appear on campus more and more, coming to share your faith. But don't clock out when the clock hits. This is why we're in a state that when we meet people that we do not have Bible studies. We have all the fun with the people we met, but never managed to call them to conviction. Or study the Bible, sit them down, really study the Bible with them. So what does this tell us? It is our personal conviction issue. When you have a dip in and dip out attitudes on the mission field, where campus is the greatest gift given by God for us to do the work, you will never have the spirit to sit people down and call them to the biblical conviction, a Christ-like conviction, because you don't hold on to them. So campus ministry is a fully immersive way of life as well. Don't think it is something that you just got to be on there and do the work and go. That's living by works, not by faith. It's not just about evangelism. It's a whole entire system for you to enjoy life with students there. Ministry interns and disciples should own their campus in all different areas: the cafes, the basketball court, the lake, the student accommodation, the uni buildings, the restaurants, social clubs, notice boards. And I think I have been to more recreational facilities than most of you students. I play tennis with people there. I play basketball. I've been to a gym, and swimming pools. One day I met with me and Div. I think it was with Div. We met these two guys come up from the swimming pool, and then another day I went back in with them. I didn't swim, but he was just showing me the facilities. So and through this opportunity, you can meet a lot more people, and also just to know about the campus. And when students asking where should I have fun, and you can even surprise them how much you know about the university campus. And to have a visible presence to all the point of persecution. Here's the thing. I understand we have faced some of it on Monash, but this is the matter of perspective and maturity. You do not pray for persecution, nor you pray for it to go away. Why? It should be the reality for all true worshippers. Because the Bible teaches in 2 Timothy 3:12, I didn't put it on there, but this is something that we teach people in persecution study. It says, in fact, everyone who wants to live a godly life in Christ Jesus will be persecuted. So once you make peace with this reality, you will feel so freed up. Freed up from your insecurity, freed up from your lack of confidence, freed up from your excuses. Jesus was a public figure and did not shy away from just to go up and share his faith. He did not shy away from persecution or controversies. Luke 20-26, they were unable to trap him in what he said there in public. And astonished by his answer, they became silent. You can have public presence by taking over the most visible and public cafe. I'm still trying to figure out where is the most obvious place to do Bible studies on campus and where for us to meet. I still think campus center is the place for now. And even when we're just sitting there, me and Precious, and Sarah, we're constantly being approached even by other Christians too. They are sharing their faith, right? And also approached by other interest groups, hobby groups, and we borrow those opportunities that, hey, we also have this going on. Like, would you like to come as well? And even Precious, when she was reading the Bible at this campus center, she was approached by other people too. And wearing a t-shirt, I appreciate James. He always wears like a kingdom t-shirt, like a Christian t-shirt on campus. And he's not afraid to be that Christian weirdo in his friend circle. We got to be on campus all the time with boldness. Persecution should not shy you away, but should increase your boldness. All your ministry should know that where you are to be found as well. So not just me and Sarah, but also that's your job too. That even sometimes me and Sarah not on campus, you call us. Where are we? Right? And this is a very important way that how we're going to help each other to feel encouraged. Even appreciate like Paul just got being honest and open up. Hey, actually, I'm free from 5. Like, where will you be? Like, can I just come to find you at 5? Let's go sharing. Yeah, I'll be a campus center sitting on the table. Just come grab me. And so your life needs to be disciplined, fun, and inspiring. Well, you got to do all these 3 together. In some of us, we can be very legalistic. Is okay, all I'm going to do is just study the Bible with people. But Jesus did not just do that. He brought people into his life. He had party. Even in the scripture, it says, "Is that guy a drunkard?" Right? People thought he was drunk when he was having fun. He was inspiring too. How many sinners he converted? Right? We got to have an open life for everyone to see, for everyone to imitate. Even today, Andreas told me, hey, I don't want to disappoint you. I might not eventually become a Christian. I was like, guess how long it took me to become a Christian? Not counting the years I've been going to different churches, I gave up, but just including, right now, the church studying with me, 10 months. And it was like, okay, all right. I think I'm in a safe zone, But most importantly, we got to become friends first, Andreas. Without being friends, we can't tell each other the truth. And for full-time students, you must see that your classmates are your primary source of being fruitful. Your fishing pool for fruit. They should become your best friends. It was very sad for me that when I was in my uni days, because all I care about is my own life, and uni is not the same as back in the days, where everybody get off their lecture and then they just go into a pub and become friends as well. Nowadays, you do the thing and you go home. And I to be honest, other than the ones who I live with, I did not make any friends in my class. And back then, if I was a Christian, I would have lived my life differently. So you should initiate with them to join or create study groups together. Help them with homework and projects. Be the one that's the most helpful friends in their life. The friends who reach out to them. Even today, I had another friend who was supposed to study the Bible together, but he actually had a very big emotional breakdown the night before. But he wasn't sure that if he should tell me, let's not just meet up. He just wanted to feel like how he feels today. But he just slept in because he was so, so tired from it. And I told him, hey, I don't know how you feel about me, but I'm always willing to be the friend to pick up your call if you want to talk to me. And then he says, wow, I've never had anyone tell me that, not even my best friend. So me as a non-student, I can develop such a relationship. You can do a lot better. Bring cupcakes into class. What we did in Hong Kong was, the egg tart. We love egg tart, although it's from Macau, really. But it's a very convenient dessert. We can just bring it with us, and everybody loves it. We always bring it to the student common space we go to. It's not really for us to eat. Sometimes we would hit disciples' hand and say, "Not for you," but it's for the people who just walk by and it was, "Hey, you want one?" Bring cupcakes, whatever, to share with the people around you and lecture, and then it creates opportunity for you to hang out with them afterwards. Social life in groups. While co-contact evangelism is highly effective, your social life should be eventful as well. Right? Don't be boring. Join social groups. Try out new things. Fencing, chess, expand your skill sets. Right? Now I'm planning to create a profile of myself. I'm just going to coach tennis on Monash. Of course, I still need more practice first. I haven't been playing tennis for 7 years. But actually, lots of students want to play tennis, but they just didn't have a friend. Many people I met, they have played tennis with me already. And then they said, whoa, okay, can you please coach me? And I was like, okay, go home, watch this video, do your forehand, backhand 50 times a day. So student on campus, student study on campus, not at home. Because home, again, you got to serve the purpose. Home is for what? It's to relax. It's to sleep. It's an environment where you enjoy your life, where you fellowship with your friends, who you live with. Campus is a place to study. It's to exchange ideas. It's for confrontation. Always be on campus, even when you're studying. Do not run home all the time. Bring lunch with you. Or if you're better disciplined, bring lunch with you. Otherwise, if you can have self-control, you can go home and come back to eat lunch. Never stay at home alone. Because when you stay at home alone, guess what you do? Sin. Let's be honest. Even you don't do sins of a commission, you're going to sin inside. Being selfish, that's a sin. When you need study breaks, we are already on the same table. Grab one of us, play a video game together, go grab a coffee, and meet someone together. We can do so many different ways of evangelism just to be on campus. That's lifestyle evangelism right there. So if your excuse is something like, I do not have a laptop, or I only have a desktop at home, right? I need a laptop to work. Well, maybe you should open your Bible as a mirror to check yourself again in the reality. And ask if I should sell my laptop and sell my desktop and get a laptop. The first thing I did when I started a career, I stopped using my gaming laptop and I bought a laptop just for work. You can't really run most of the games I play. The first thing I did entering into the full-time ministry, I got a Surface 9, which is this. Because for the purpose of Yeah, it's professional, but also it can detach my keyboard and looks good when I preach. I won't have a screen like blocking my face right here. Where's your conviction at today? And that's a very important thing to ask any young people. It's better for you to figure out now as a student than older, than later. Because as you see, why I also brought up example when I started work first. See, this discipline, this type of discipline carries you to later stage in your life. And I would just like to be honest right here. The sisters are doing way better, like in coming on the campus, and we sit together. They do the uni works on campus together. But the brothers, it's amazing to see how you're way more active now to be set evangelism. But how about the rest of the time, right? Alexis actually has been sitting right next to me longer than all of you. So what is going on? Yeah, I'm going there. So the peak times and the holiday breaks, right? Orientation week, you should know when the uni has all week. That is the most fruitful time you can be. You can grab like 100 contacts just in 2 days. Because people are excited on campus. On that day, it's like, yeah, everything's new. Like new year, new me, right? Like whatever club, I didn't even hear the Bible. I would just join it, right? Even during exam times, right? That's the most stressful time. Many people think, oh, exam time, people are not open. But this is this is something that is trainable, is skill. Like you should approach people who sits alone there, because whoever sits alone has the more normally people they want space, they're in stress, and that's the time when you ask them how they're doing, they feel so much care from strangers, and that's the time you can get into their heart. And even during you can get into student accommodation with your ID card and just knock on doors and say, hey, I'm here to encourage students, wherever, are you stressed out or whatever, what can I do for you? And even at holiday times, right? That's the greatest time to create events. So focusing on these things help you to plan things in advance. It shouldn't make you to be stressed out. Point number 2, and the successful stories of campus evangelism. Personal examples. As most of you have heard my stories being a full-time intern, ministry intern at AUT, Auckland University of Technology. I was a very well known on campus as a non-student. Right, pretty weird. We see many persecutions and a lot of gossips amongst religious groups about me. And I was banned from all religious groups and events on campus, including in Hong Kong as well. But what I later learned and the change happened on my circumstances, is that I simply lacked the attitude of seeking advice. I lack humility. Most lasting persecution against me was because I did something insensitive. I was lack of wisdom. Yeah, you need to speak the truth, but you also need love and wisdom. And sometimes I'll just be immature, making immature jokes. But once I started to seek a lot more advice from multiple brothers and leaders, some who used to persecute me actually would say hi to me. They suddenly show respect. Even the largest student Christian union in Auckland unblocked me. They removed me from the blacklist. So my persecutors starting to say hi to me, like we were old friends. Even on campus, they will call my name. Even when I'm on the phone, they will say, hey, like that. So don't freak out or feel anything negative when you're persecuted on campus. It is our reality, and as even Jesus, when the scripture talk about Jesus, it's actually manageable. Like when Jesus stood his ground, people became silent. It is like those world leaders who are controversial, right? Especially the great ones who changed their nations. They all have the PR team, public relation team, right? Got to do the right thing, but they need to do it smart. They need advice. Only in that way you suffer persecution for the right cause. And also when I was in the working professional ministry, the most people who converted the most, the majority of our fruits, are campus students. And we can look at the photo here. And when we were in Hong Kong, in the Hong Kong University, the first Bible talk we had 13 visitors. 22 people squeezed into our apartment in Hong Kong. We couldn't even move. We even have friends. You see the bottom left, those 3 guys from Kazakhstan. They brought wine as well. We had a great time right there. And just how open Monash campus is. Sharing with Paul, and not just with him, I always could set up Bible studies on the spot. When people interested going to Bible talk, and the first response, chase after them. Don't wait till Friday. Don't wait till Sunday. They said, hey, do you have time to do a Bible study tomorrow? Or this afternoon? Do it. They would say yes. But bring to the fun things, that's important, but these fun things are to convert people. When you have a chance, just shoot it. Well, don't gun shy. Other examples. Well, campus is where you meet your love, probably. Right? Like your future love, your future husband or wife. Jenna evangelized to her future husband on campus. Same for Sean. He evangelized to Tegan, actually. And most of the future leaders in our movement came out from campus. China, who leads our church in China, the Heart. Aaron was being evangelized to on campus in Sydney. His wife Fang was evangelized to in Boston. Guess which university she went to? Harvard. Right? Hong Kong. Dean was being evangelized to in Sydney as well. But it was Joe who, a 50-year-old man at that time, had to go to the university and playing ping pong with him for 2 months. But he didn't really look at himself. He just looked whether he would look weird to play table tennis with a younger guy, but he just did it. And he led the mission team to Hong Kong. Matthew as well. Matthew was being met in the university in Hong Kong, and now he's leading a church in Hong Kong. Taipei, Leo and Evelyn, they were met in Hong Kong as well at university there. And then later on, when they got married, they planted a church in Taipei. Apia, which is mentioned, Scotty, right? And the Euquincies, who founded this church, the couple. One of them was met in Macquarie, another one, Macquarie or New South Wales, I forgot. Another one was met in Sydney University. And because camp was a really great training ground for youth people to really find purpose in God. And they will be a lot more solid than people like me. I carry lots of rubbish into the kingdom. And I have to crucify that a lot harder than you guys. I'm still doing it today. Pete Wade, right? In Sydney, Shepherd in Sydney. Invited by a classmate who was just studying architecture. But he was very a religious guy back then, so he was very protective of his friends. When his friend being invited to a Bible study, he said, no, I'm going to come with you. I heard about these guys. There's some articles about these guys. I want to protect my friend. And instead, his friend Joe, studying the Bible, he actually was the one that actually got interested. His friend just left the Bible study, but he actually, okay, I'm actually interested. Study the Bible with me now. And then he actually became a Christian. And so did my wife. She was met on campus as an exchange student. Again, she was not meant to be here permanently. But she became permanent, and now you're a women's ministry leader. So the conclusion, and I don't think I'm a great preacher. If you want to see a greater version of this series, I will attach the link to our world sector leaders. Joe also preached this lesson a while ago in Sydney, so you can hear his version too. But today we'll talk about campus evangelism. We'll talk about the why. It is save young souls. You try to evangelize. Nothing. We gotta save everyone. For example, people like me or older, gonna give you lots of headaches as well. But young souls, the amazing part is that you can see just how quickly they can change. How quickly the conviction coming out from them is just, even it will inspire you. And they are the easiest ones to become our leaders. And the how is just simply to get yourself involved with students' lifestyle. Be young again, right? As we go older, we have lots of excuses. I appreciate Diane is still being so youthful, you know? She's not awkward hanging out with us. Yeah, even on last Sunday, she was the one that danced the hardest. And the fruits, right? It's endless fruits coming from campus. That's why, like many church movements, they build their foundation on campus too. Yeah, that's the lesson for today. To God be all the glory.